Our reading today is the story of Jesus' arrest, death, and burial according to the Gospel of Mark. Late Thursday night, after sharing bread and wine, Jesus and his closest friends went to a garden. Jesus wanted a quiet place where he could pray. He knew something terrible was going to happen soon, and he was afraid. "Please, Abba," he prayed. Abba, which means daddy, was the name Jesus called God when they were alone together. "Please, Abba, do I have to do this awful thing? Do I really have to?" Jesus was quiet for a long time. He was listening to God. Finally, he whispered very quietly, "If that is what I have to do, then I will do it." Later that night, some soldiers came. They tied Jesus' hands with a rope. They took him away, put him in a dark prison, and kept him there all night. In the morning, they brought Jesus to Pilate. Pilate was the ruler of the whole country, like a king, except they called him the governor. Pilate said to Jesus, "They tell me you think you are king of this whole country. Is that true?" "If you say so," said Jesus. Then the soldiers took Jesus into the yard of Pilate's house. They started to tease him and say mean things. They hit him hard, many times. Then they put a purple cloth around his shoulders and yelled, "There, now you look like a real king." And they laughed and laughed. Jesus did not say anything. It was still early in the morning when the soldiers made Jesus carry a heavy wooden cross. They went to a place called Golgotha, which was the place people threw all their garbage. Then they nailed Jesus' hands to the cross. They nailed his feet to the cross. Then they lifted up the cross, so Jesus hung there. It hurt terribly. It was 9 o'clock in the morning. The soldiers and others standing around started to tease Jesus again. "If you are a king, if you really are God's chosen one, then show us. Jump down off that cross." Jesus hung on that cross for hours. Finally, he lifted his head and said, "Oh God, why have you left me here all alone?" Then Jesus died. Jesus' friends had run away. They were afraid the soldiers would come and catch them too. But Mary of Magdala was there at the cross. So was Jesus' mother, whose name was also Mary, and the mother of James and Salome were there, along with several other women. They were afraid, but they did not run away. Later, a rich man named Joseph, who came from Arimathea, talked to Pilate. "Please let me take Jesus' dead body. Let me put it in a grave. Jesus is dead, and we want to take care of his body in a kind and gentle way." Joseph took a nice white cloth to wrap Jesus' dead body in. Then he and the two Marys took Jesus to the grave. This grave was actually a cave in the hillside, sometimes called a tomb. They slowly and gently placed Jesus' body into this tomb. Then Joseph rolled a great, big, heavy stone across the opening to close it up. The three of them stood there for a long time, just looking at the place where Jesus lay dead. Then slowly the three of them walked away. "It's so sad," said Joseph. "Jesus was such a kind, gentle person. I really thought he was God's chosen one." Mary of Magdala nodded. Tears filled her eyes. "I guess the story of Jesus is over. It's all over." But most of us who are listening to the story know Mary was mistaken. The story of Jesus was just beginning.